Hey everybody, Trolley Pulley here, the troll you can trust, back with a Walking Dead Roast Fight video, featuring Harper, the Disarmer Mercenary. Her base stats are not really the queen of anything here. She lands top 10 for her attack stat out of the supports, but ranks 5th in worst defense and 16th best for HP for supports. Having a defense this low could be an issue having her on your defense team, as when I use a 30 defense stun weapon, which has no attack on it, for my Bruce and come turn 2, I can command him to kill tankier supports such as Guardian 2 Zeke or Indomitable Maggie, so Harper having even lower defenses will allow people to keep doing this unless you get some really lucky Grace procs. Let's talk about her skill set. Her special skill is Disarming, and now we have a Disarmer for all traits and colors. Unlike the other Disarmers, this one is a support role rather than a damage role like the other 3 Disarmers. So we should expect from this survivor less offensive burst and more status altering effects to allow other survivors to carry your team. Moving over to Adrenaline Rush, it's called Exposing Slices, which means she probably likes to scissor.
Yeah, scissor me, Allison!
Since she has a 58 AR, means she will be excellent for offense, as this allows for turn 2 command AR usage. I really do like the attack part for her Adrenaline Rush since she isn't a damage dealer. Less damage, but more utility to make sure we get more disarms so we do more attacks during her Adrenaline Rush. Normally, disarmers have been double attackers with their adrenaline rushes, but getting 3 attacks to make sure we can disarm our current target, or we will kill our target with Harper and allow her to move on to the next target for 1 or 2 attacks to disarm them for the rest of your team to not be affected by special weapon mods. The next part of her adrenaline rush is pretty powerful. This is very similar to Karner's adrenaline rush, but Harper's is version 2.0, as it will do the entire team rather than 4. Harper will lower attack and defenses by 50%, which is a very nice nut snipping AR. Just having one source of AP generation will allow Harper to be commanded to use her Adrenaline Rush turn 2, compared to Connor, who would need to wait till turn 3 with 30 AP per turn and be commanded. If you like the double command setup, you can also put Harper with one other 58 AR survivor and have them both be commanded turn 2 for early kill pressure. Combine Harper with an attack buffer and you can treat the enemy team just like they're just a bunch of 5 stars. Harper's active to me is very one-trick pony, as it serves just as a single purpose at the start of the match come turn 2. So turn 2, if you don't command her, you can pop her active to give her a crit buff, so turn 3, we can increase our chances that all 3 attacks from her Adrenaline Rush will crit, making offensive builds for her a thing. To use this active defensively, I don't think is the best route, as even if you give her focus for incoming taunts and confuses, she can't heal, revive, cleanse penalties, or really output a lot of damage, so I feel the turn 2 usage for higher turn 3 damage is the most optimal way of using it. Harper's weapon is very useful as it comes with stun when attacking. This can be useful for offense and defense, but I do find her being useful on offense. I don't think I would touch the stun special weapon mod even if I tossed her on defense. As for the first 2 crafts, I would change the 15 crit to AP when attacking. I would then put 2 crafts into her defense, making it 40% defense. I would really focus on getting huge AP when attacking before moving on to defense increasing for her weapon. You may ask though, she is a disarmer. Why not have crit on her weapon? Well, we have a stun weapon which works way better than a disarm mechanic, as we can bypass weapon mods. Since the enemy is stunned, they cannot attack, but for them to attack someone on the other team, someone has to sacrifice their turn with a recover stun active, which is a win, as the survivor who just used their active didn't gain AP that turn. We can also add crit through combat mods that can give more than 30 or 35. That would be on her weapon. Here are 2 combat mod setups for offense and defense. We will go offensive with these combat mods rather than survivability due to her lowering attack by 50%, allowing us to have a bit more leeway to survive already. With her also lowering defenses, allowing us to easily kill people makes for more damage control, which is pretty nice, so we can go a little bit more offensive on attack. Attack or crit damage set depending on what you have laying around. If you plan on doing the turn 2 active usage, then probably crit damage set might be better. Crit combat mod, so we can nail disarms more often, and if we happen to go crit damage set, this can help for that as well. Attack versus blue, as this is our trait advantage, and since we lower defenses with her Adrenaline Rush, we can have the other traits take care of their respective advantages. Confuse resist, and I'm choosing this over stun resist, as we will probably be versing reds and blues, and attacking stun and impair weapons won't do anything to us, so that we can use that to our advantage by knowing potential common attacking weapons and actives. Command Sadiq is a very popular range survivor, as he is the only range command currently, and he has a confuse active. Some teams use Disarm Michonne behind a shield, and if Harper gets confused, then it could be bad if she starts stunning your team. Since she attacks 3 times with her Adrenaline Rush, we slap an AP down so we can potentially get 3 procs of AP down to 1 survivor. I can see this completely draining AP bars in clutch situations if used properly. For the wild card, since bleeds don't stack with her Adrenaline Rush, I choose the option for burn for more damage output. Defense is a tricky one, I feel. Considering a lot of heavy burst screens out there, if we take the route to remove an HP or defense combat mod for a crit, could be a dangerous one. But since she has stun on her weapon, this allows us to not really rely so much on disarming, but so much with her stun instead. Defense set to help her low defense stat, or she will die very early in the fight. Defense versus greens for trait disadvantages. Stun resist as greens with stun weapons will be attacking her, and we need to get her Adrenaline Rush off so that our team sustain can outmatch their damage output. Grays to help out as she has a low defense base stat, and a few procs of this can potentially help her stay alive long enough to unleash her Adrenaline Rush. The wild card would be defense, as it will help keep her alive, and once the enemy's attack is lowered, this will help out even more. Going to do 2 offense and 2 defense comps. The first one for offense is going full attack stats with attack and crit. This will help disarm procs and help for turn 1 and turn 2 decapitates for Alpha's double attack damage. Marlin can give sporadic burst damage from his weapon procs to help tear through the enemy. The magic happens if you choose to use Alpha's active turn 3 and have her commanded to use her Adrenaline Rush so that she will have 50% attack buff and the enemy will have a negative 50% defense buff coming from Harper. Enjoy the multiple death sounds happening all at once because it feels so good. Second team for attack, we go the premier route with good old Carl. We bring no command because we will be getting 40 AP per attack with Carl's leadership skill, and AP on attack weapons. So come turn 3, we have 5 Adrenaline Rushes ready to poo on their faces. Premier Carl to start it off in case anybody died. Second is Harper to lower defenses. Then use Dwight so that he will buff 3 other teammates with 50% attack. Then unleash the bucket of shit all over your enemy with Disarm Michonne and Waylon. First defense team, we show Gabriel leader to hopefully bait some red attackers and then show 4 yellows. We have Harper and Connor for a constant debuff of 50% and 60% attack to our enemy. If these are able to be applied, it will be extremely difficult to out-damage heals coming from Gabriel and the bonus HP and defense from Lydia. If the fight goes on long enough, Jesus will eventually maim the enemy team to death, if the timer has not stepped in already. Second defense team, we will go with a Garrett leader so we can bring yellow and blue survivors. No human shield for this team, so we bring Guardian 2 Glenn, 4 shields, and another healer. Glenn, Mackenzie, Harper, or Garrett are great choices to be commanded turn 2, as it will either be heals, debuff cleansing, bonus HP, taunt to 3, attack and defense down, or more Guardian shields. With lowered attack and pain split, it will be very difficult to outdamage a defense's team sustain. With Harper having a stun weapon for this team, people that have teams built for yellow and blue will not expect a lot of stuns, but rather impairs, taunts, and confuses, so stuns for this team can be very useful. And that's going to wrap up the video of our mercenary, Harper. Let me know what you all think of this Harper. What other team comps would you use her in offense and defense? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, to make you laugh, what you think positive, please can subscribe, chop the like, subscribe button. Make sure you comment down below. Sports really appreciate it. And on that, I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye bye.